Hey there, friends. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Remember, only you can make it great. You know, sometimes we wake up and it's like, and then we just have to dust ourselves off and have some coffee and just get going with it, my dear friends. All right, we are making dos books today. A dos book is a back-to-back book. It's very, very easy to make these books. So what you're going to do is you're going to start out with a 3 by 12 strip of cardstock. And it's kind of best that it's just regular cardstock, you know, nothing too thick, nothing too thin, you know, just that regular weight of cardstock. So let's start with this one first, and I've just kind of pulled out some things here to work on. So you'll need your 3 by 12 strips of paper. You'll need a bit of embroidery floss or some sort of binding here. You'll need some strips of paper. This is just copy paper, and it's 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. If you're thinking, man, that looks familiar, this is the signature that is in a 3 by 3 mini book that goes in our art supply books. So that's why that looks familiar. You might want some sort of needle. This is an awesome little tapestry needle that my friend Cheryl sent me, so I'm going to use that. I just have some decorative kind of things going on here. I don't know exactly how I'll decorate these, but I wanted to show you this really simple process. It's fun to do. They're fun to make. I learned to do this from Jennibellie. We're going to score that 3 by 12 strip into 3, 3, 3, 3. And 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 is 12. That's the 12-inch strip. But you could do this with any size, you know, that you felt like you wanted to work with. All right, so we've got our strip. We've got it scored. Let's go ahead and start laying our signatures in. Now, there's just one tricky aspect to this, so I'll show it to you when we get to the middle signature. All right, so you're nestling this in, and then I've just got a pokey tool. I don't measure, I just kind of, there's a doggy here, eyeball it. I used to not have a pokey tool. I used to not have a paper cutter. I used to not have a scoreboard. I used to not have much of anything. Don't ever let not having stuff stop you from making anything. I worked for a couple of years and didn't really have very much because I couldn't afford it. Still the case, but I've been really lucky that I have received things from friends that no longer wanted them, or, you know, big gifts, gifted items and things like that. All right, what we're going to do here is we're going to start, oh, I did that wrong. We're going to start on the inside. So we go through the inside. Then we go here, and then we go to the top. Whew, dog hair. It's everywhere right now. I just petted Mia, so I've got hair on me. All right, now we're going to tie this off. Don't worry, we'll do it again, okay? Don't worry. All right. These are so nice for just handmade items for baby showers, or, you know, a special occasion, a birthday party, something like that. It's really sweet to have these sorts of things about and around. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the outside. All right. Okay, now I am going to do this one. All right. It's nice when you can kind of like have all of your stuff cut and ready to go. If you got your stuff cut and prepped and ready to roll, these things really come together super fast. And all of the prep work is crazy easy as well. No odd measurements. That's nice, isn't it? We want our knot to be inside, so that's why we're doing it like this. Bottom, middle, bottom, top, and then the middle again, just like that. All right, and then we tie this off. If you want your knot on the inside, start on the inside. All right, now, so we can see it coming together here. Now we need our third signature right here. This is where it gets different. Let's go ahead. You can see that the other signatures we did on the blank side of the paper, right? Here, see, blank. This is the decorated side of the paper, and that's where this third signature will go into the book. For this one, to bind it in there, we're going to use an extra long piece of embroidery floss. And for this one, we're going to start on the outside of the book, okay? We're going to start on the outside. You know, the rest of them we've started inside here, right? Right. You're going to have a lot of embroidery floss here. That's okay. We're going to go, so middle, bottom, top, middle. All right, now at this point, I'm just going to flip the whole thing over like that. You'll have embroidery floss here, embroidery floss here, okay? And just give it a tug and try and even it up a little bit. Try and get it as even as you can, okay? If you can't get it so even, don't worry about it. You know, it's crafting. Don't worry about it. Don't allow trying to make something perfect take all your joy out of it, okay? All right, now you can see that that middle signature has like this super long string on it, right? And that is how you bind the book. I didn't leave mine quite as long as I should have. Probably should have left it a wee bit longer. At this point, you can do whatever. You can put beads on here. You can, You know what? This would be very pretty with just like a little prima flower. No, you could glue something like that on it. If you want to wrap, leave this a lot longer, y'all. Here. Let's see what else I have in this little bag. That'll be pretty. Okay, so here. Here, and we could sew that in, or what I'm going to do is just glue it in. I really like this Turbo Tacky Glue from Eileen's. It's super sticky, and I'm almost out. I need some more. Here. And I'm only gluing the middle, cause, see, that's pretty. I want it to have like a bit of a 3D-ish effect to it. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do, maybe put a little, let's see if I can find a little bit of bling for the middle. See what I have here. I kind of like just the pearl. Sorry, I've just taken my glasses off, saved my nose. Good gracious. There we go. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And then we'll come back and we'll do our wrap closure on it, okay? But you can see how pretty it looks, you guys. It's got 1, 2, 3 signatures, dos, back to back. All right, let's set that one aside. Let's go through the whole thing one more time. $3 by $12 cardstock. To really jazz this up, you know, you could use double-sided cardstock. I don't have any, so I'm just using single-sided cardstock. I know this little cloth looks dirty. It's just stained to pieces. Look, you know, I was looking at this and it's stained and it's got paint on it and glue on it, and I'm thinking, you know, this is a history, you know, of what I've done. You have to look at things like that. Sometimes you just got to look on the sunny side of something. Even though it's stained and ratty looking, tatty looking, as Tracy Fox would say, love the word tatty. She uses it so eloquently. All right, let's go ahead and get our signatures in. I'll put my glue back almost out. Before I had a proper pokey tool, I used an awl that Chris found for me. at a leather making website. It was like, yeah, man, that's exactly what I need. You know, this was years ago, years and years and years ago. I think I'm celebrating my 11th year, doing a bit of artsy craftsy. I think that's about right. 2010, started doing little bits and bobs here and there. So I was probably looking for a pokey tool around 2010, maybe a little bit later. All right, remember this one is, you're going to start on the inside, right? We want our knot on the inside. So we start on the inside, middle, bottom. Mia's talking in her sleep. Do you hear her? She's literally talking in her sleep. That's how she communicates. She goes, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. At night when she gets in the bed, you can go, mm-hmm, and she'll go, mm-hmm. She's doing it now. Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got our first one. Let's do our next signature. Now this is what, you know, this is what it'll look like right now. Okay, so you got this. Now we're going to do this one. It's like that. Take your pokey tool. It's also, when you poke, it's nice to just pick up your paper and kind of push your pokey tool through, because it gives the embroidery floss a little more room to, and your needle a little more wiggle room. So middle, bottom, top, middle. Just when you get to this point, just be sure that you have a string, a line of floss here and a line of floss here, okay? I think that's so sweet, sweetest sound. All right, now we're going to put our last signature in right here. Now, this is the one that requires you to leave quite a bit of embroidery floss there, so you can wrap it around and create the binding. 1, 2, 3. Push through, push through, push through, just like that. And try and see if I can eyeball this a little bit better and get us a longer. All right, let's just do that. Let's see how that looks. These are so nice, you know, if you're doing an abandoned art project. Lots of people do those, where you abandon a piece of art in a public place and, you know, allow someone to stumble upon it and take it home. And there's a, you know, that's like finding hidden treasure. All right, remember this one, long piece of floss. And because we're going to tie it on the outside, we start on the outside. So we go middle, bottom, top, middle. Okay. We've got a lot of floss down here. Flip the whole thing over. Now you can see my floss ended up, all of it ended up this way. So let's take up a piece of it and let's just kind of get it evened up. I think it's way long. I may want to cut some of this off. And then I might just want to leave it. Okay, you can see how much I have. Or, sorry, I forget you're up there. All right, let's cut just a bit off, okay? I do have quite a string going here. Okay. All right, now remember, tie it. All right. Press everything together. And then we can 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was about right, y'all. That was about right. Okay. There we go. And you can finish it off, like I said, with some of these flowers. Maybe put a little charm or something on the end. If you are with me at Patreon, this is what you're getting. Spoiler alert. For your Patreon thank you at the $5 level. I'll send you a happy mail. I kind of like the way the little flowers are looking there, don't you? It's an awesome way to just like use your offcuts. You know, we all have them. And then we put them in a drawer and we go, oh, I'll use that one day. And then 3 years go by and you go, God, I still haven't used those things. I need to use those. Dose mini books. I learned it from Jennibellie. I learned so much from Jennibellie. She definitely is like the guru of the paper, my friends. I'm gonna back to my bling box. I like the pearl blings. Geez, I've got a lot of like crystals in there. I didn't know I had those. I might have to think of a project so I can use up those. Those are pretty. And there we go. Set this to the side. There we go. That's not quite dry, but okay, so like this or like this. You know, you can do it either way. You can even shove it down here. Just anything to kind of keep it closed. So there we go, my dear friends. Dose mini books. The creator of these is Miss Jennibellie. It's very pretty, very sweet, lots of fun. to play with. Like I said, it would be so nice for any sort of, you know, we're actually allowed out in public now, so, you know, maybe there are going to be parties and baby showers and wedding showers and, you know, places for people to gather. These are just sweet little books. You know, if you're doing the abandoned art project, you know, just another sweet idea for abandoned art. Treasure art makes somebody's day. Thanks a bunch for hanging out with me, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourselves. See ya.